What happens when the greatest leaders in Konoha history go head to head with the most dangerous prodigies of the Uchiha clan? Well, in today's video, we're diving into a battle of legend. The 4 Kages versus the 5 Prime Uchiha. No nerves, no hold back, just raw power and a full-blown analysis of who wins in a world where everyone is at their peak. But before we dive in, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button, share and subscribe. We're aiming for 1500 subscribers by the ending of this month, and I would really appreciate your support. So without any further ado, let's get down to it. On one side of the battlefield stands the Kage, Konoha's greatest leader, each one representing an era, a style and a legacy of their own. Firstly, we have Hashirama, the first Hokage, hailed as the god of shinobi, born with chakra that dwells even that of a tailed beast. Hashirama's wood release give him domination over nature itself. With Sage Mode and regeneration so advanced, he can recover from mortal wounds mid-battle. He fought Madara and the Nine Tails simultaneously and won. He isn't just strong, he is built different. Second on our team, we have Tobirama Senju, the second Hokage, cold, calculating and very lethal. Often overshadowed by his brother, Tobirama was the genius behind countless jutsus that defined modern shinobi warfare. He was the inventor of the Flying Thunder God technique used by the 4th Hokage, Shadow cloned used by Naruto, and the Edo Tensei also used by the 3rd Hokage. His speed and strategic mind made him one of the most deadliest shinobi to ever live. Third on our list, we have Hiruzen Sarutobi, the 3rd Hokage, also known as the Professor. A man who mastered all 5 chakra nature and over 1,000 jutsus. At his prime, he was said to be the strongest Kage alive, wielding Enma and able to face off against Orochimaru and 2 reanimated Hokage, that being the first and the second, although they were weak in his old age. Now imagine him in his prime. Fourth on our list, we have Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, also known as Yellow Flash and also known as Naruto's father. The man who ended wars by himself. His mastery over the Flying God technique created by the 2nd Hokage made him faster than even the Sharingan could track. Adding his deadly precision with Rasengan, contract seals and chakra control, and you've got one of the most broken 1v1 fighter in all of Naruto. Last on our list, we have Tsunade, also known as the 5th Hokage and also known as the granddaughter of the 1st Hokage. Having the ability to heal not only herself but the entire of Konoha with her summon, Tsunade perhaps might be one of the most powerful healers in the Eden Leaf. Not only can she fight and also heal simultaneously, her strength is almost as comparable to that of the 1st Hokage when it comes to their physical stats. Tsunade should not be underestimated. But now, standing against the 5 strongest Hokages are the 5 strongest Uchiha to ever walk the earth. The first one is going to be War Axe Sasuke. This is a Sasuke with the internal Mangekyo Sharingan in one eye. He has access to Amino Tachikara, space-time swap, planetary level Chippaku Tensei, Amaterasu control, and one of the most refined Susanoo in the series. Next on our team, we have Prime Uchiha Madara, alive and fully unleashed, armed with the internal Mangekyo Sharingan and his devastating perfect Susanoo. Madara didn't just destroy battlefield, he reshaped them. Adding his stolen wood release from Hashirama's cell and mastery over the Sage technique, and you got a man who took on the 5 Kage and made it look very easy. Third on our list, we have an LT adult Itachi, with both the Mangekyo Sharingan intact, no illness, no restriction. Armed with Tsukiyomi Amaterasu, the impenetrable Yata mirror and the sealing Tosoka blade, Itachi is the definition of lethal precision. Every move is calculated and every glance is a potential Genjutsu trap. Fourth on our list, we have Prime Shisui Uchiha, with both eyes and full access to Koto Amatsukami, the most broken Genjutsu in the series. A technique so powerful, it can rewrite your will without you even knowing. Fast, evasive, and a master tactician, Shisui's presence alone turns any battlefield into a psychological minefield. And last on our team, we have Obito with both his Mangekyo Sharingan unlocked. That means he wields Kamui on another level, facing in and out of dimension, slipping through attack, teleporting opponents into oblivion, and adding the possibility of Izanagi and the experimental wood style release gotten by Hashirama's DNA, and Obito essentially becomes a one-man army. So now that I've explained our team, I'm going to shift this video into two separate forms. The first one is going to be the individual battle, and the second one is going to be the team battle. So for the individual battle, we are pinning one character against the other, and for the team battle, we are pinning the entire Uchiha as a team against the 5 Kage and see who is going to win. So firstly, I'm going to start with the 1v1 battle first. Then after that, I'm going to switch to the team battle. So for our match 1, we have Minato versus Obito. Now let's start with a rematch that never truly happened. Minato versus Obito, but this time both are at their absolute peak. Back in the original timeline, Minato blitzed Obito with the Flying Thunder God technique and outplayed Kamui on the spot. But now this isn't a teen Obito fumbling with his new power. This is a battle-hardened Obito, fully aware of Kamui's strengths and limitations. With both Mangekyo Sharingan unlocked, he doesn't just face through attacks, he controls space itself, adding rapid-fire Kamui attacks, long-range teleportation, and even high-level fire style with wood-style techniques thanks to Hashirama's DNA, and suddenly Obito becomes untouchable. But Minato is still the Yellow Flash, and his Flying Thunder God technique isn't just teleportation, it's instantaneous movement with layered battlefield prep. Kunai scattered across the mall, ceiling tag hidden mid attacks, shadow clones appearing out of thin air. You blink and Minato might be behind you. The difference maker is that Minato doesn't need to eat you, he just needs to tag you. A ceiling tag on your back, your foot, your kunai, and this battle ends in seconds. But there is a problem that Minato also has to take into consideration. Obito can always restart with Izanagi, rewriting death itself, but of course it's going to cost him one eyes. But we know that that's not really much of a problem. Obito is also very used to using one eyes to battle. So here is my verdict for this particular battle. If this is a quick draw battle, Minato ends it before Obito can adapt. Like just one tag, one Rasengan, one seal, and essentially the fight is over. But if Obito is able to stretch it out, bait out Minato into traps, and dropping Izanagi at the right moment, he might be able to win this battle. But essentially, I give this battle to Minato, the 4th Hokage. The next 1v1 battle is going to be Tobirama versus Shisui. And this might be one of the most unpredictable battles in this entire series, because the two shinobis are famous for their speed, intellect, and killing before enemies even recognize. Tobirama is a walking armory of forbidden techniques and less polished than the 4th Hokage, but it's also deadlier in close combat. It can tag and delete targets without wasted movement. But then again, Shisui's eyes are just essentially broken. With both Mangekyo Sharingan intact, Koto Amatsukame can mind control even someone like Naruto. Let me say that again. It can mind control even someone like Naruto without Naruto even knowing what is happening. No hand sign is required, no eye contact is required, just one thought and the battle ends before it begins. But still, Koto Amatsukame also has its limitation because using that technique requires a lot of chakra. So I would say that this is a one-time move. And if Shisui is not able to pull up the attack the first time, then definitely I'm saying the 2nd Hokage taking this win. So here's my verdict for this fight. If Koto Amatsukame lands early, then it's checkmate. Shisui wins this battle. But if Tobirama is able to dodge the Genjutsu, which I'm not sure how, then there is a possibility that he can definitely beat someone like Shisui. So I'm going to give this battle to Shisui. Third on our list is going to be Hiruzen versus Itachi. At first glance, Itachi has the advantage. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. Tsukiyomi, Amaterasu, the Yata mirror that can block any elemental attack, and even the Tosoka blade that can seal you for eternity with just a single swipe. Hiruzen's strength is actually in his versatility. He's basically a walking endgame at this point. At his prime, he mastered every chakra nature, knows over 1000 jutsus, and even had enough chakra to fight Edo, Hashirama, and Tobirama in his 60s. So I feel that the 3rd Hokage should not be underestimated in this battle. But still, Itachi was born to end fights before they even escalated. One misstep and Hiruzen can find himself trapped in a Genjutsu loop, or even sealed before he even flexes his real power. But if you give Hiruzen enough time, then suddenly Itachi's stamina might become a potential problem. Because the more Itachi relies on his Mangekyo Sharingan, the more massive chakra he drains. So here's my verdict for this fight. If Itachi lands a clean Tsukiyomi, or strikes with the Totsuka blade early, then it's essentially over for the third Hokage. But if the third Hokage is able to buy enough time and counter some of Itachi's jutsu, then there is a possibility that he might win. But I will have to give this battle to Itachi, because at this point I just don't see the third Hokage winning this battle. So number 4 on our list is going to be Hashirama versus Madara. And now, as much as I would love to give Madara this win, I just don't see Madara taking it. And why? Because it has been established both in the manga and in the anime that Prime Madara could not beat Prime Hashirama. It literally took Prime Madara and the Nine Tails combined together to stand a chance against the Prime Hashirama. And even then, Hashirama won that battle. As much as I would love to say that Madara takes this, I just can't see that happening. So my final verdict for this fight is Hashirama wins this battle, and the only time Madara might win this battle is if Hashirama makes 1 or 2 mistakes, and I just don't see that happening. So moving on to the next battle and the last battle, finally we have Tsunade versus Sasuke, and this is completely one-sided. As much as I would love to give Tsunade the win, I just don't see Tsunade winning. The only thing that Tsunade has for her is her healing factor and her insane strength. But now, here is the problem. We know that with Sasuke's perfect Susanoo, he can completely counter Tsunade's strength, because she cannot break the defense of Sasuke's perfect Susanoo. And here is the annoying part. Once Sasuke starts using Amaterasu, then things completely turns upside down for someone like Tsunade. How will she be able to counter Sasuke's Amaterasu? So here's my final verdict for this fight. Sasuke wins this battle without really using much of his abilities. So now that we have talked about the 1v1 fight, it's time for us to move to the team battle, where we pin all the Uchihas against the 5 Kages and see who comes out on top. Now at first glance, it might seem that the Hokage have the edge in coordination. And you might be right, because what are we talking about? These are the 5 leaders of the Hidden Leaf. Of course, their coordination and their strategic attacks will be on point. Just imagine it, Minato and Tobirama literally teleporting around the battlefield, Hashirama, also known as the god of shinobi, reshaping the entire battlefield with wood style release. You add the third Hokage, who knows all 5 chakra nature and has over 1000 jutsus down. And then you add Tsunade, who provides general support, and we are looking at a very solid team. But here is the thing, the Uchiha are just built different, and here is what I mean. We have Madara with his perfect Susanoo and his internal Mangekyo Sharingan, and we have Sasuke with also his perfect Susanoo with his internal Mangekyo Sharingan and a Renegade. Now the problem is these two can easily take on Hashirama, and if not defeat him, they can at least push him to using his full Sage mode earlier in the battle. And then you throw in Itachi and Shisui, and suddenly the rules change. A single Tsukuyomi from Itachi can break even the most hardened mind in Konoha, and one Koto Amatekame from Shisui landing on either Hiruzen or Tobirama can completely have the Kages fighting against each other. So this doesn't just turn into a 5v5, this might actually turn into a 6v4, because Shisui has the ability to literally take control of one of the Hokage and have them fight for the Uchiha. Now you add in someone like Obito, who has the ability to phase through attacks up from one dimension to the other, and also drag people into his Kamui dimension, and this becomes completely broken. So if you ask me, how is this fight going to go? Here is what I'm going to say. Once they start the fight, Shisui hits with mind control, and suddenly the Hokages are turned against one another. Madara and Sasuke launch their synchronized Susanoo attack, caving through Hashirama and potentially pushing Minato on the defense. Now Obito picks up the support one by one, turning the fight into a series of brutal 5v3s versus 5v2s versus 5v1. Itachi activates his Yata Mirror and Totsuka Blade, turning even the mighty Hiruzen into a memory, because he literally can just seal the third Hokage. So here is my final verdict for this team battle. The 5 Hokages are the embodiment of control, wisdom and power through harmony. But the Uchiha, they are the embodiment of chaos weaponized, rage given form, precision wrapped in fire, and eyes that can rewrite the rules of engagement. Yes, the Hokage could win if they land the first move, if they keep their distance, if they counter the Genjutsu and stay 2 steps ahead, they can absolutely pull off a victory. But this isn't chess, this is war. And in war, a single mistake can cost you everything. Honestly, I give this to the Uchiha, and why? It's not because they are better in every way, but it's because their toolkit is designed to flip the table, to shatter strategies, to make even legends doubt their next move. The moment even one Genjutsu lands, one teleportation fails, or one support Hokage is taken out, then there is absolutely nothing that the Hokages can do against the Uchiha team. This isn't just a battle of power, this is a battle of pressure, and no one applies pressure like the Uchiha. So what do you think about this god tier clash? Does the coordinated might of the Hokage beat the Uchiha eye-breaking insanity, or does the Sharingan reign supreme? Let me know your takes down in the comment section, and if you disagree with some of my arguments, I would definitely love to see your opinion down in the comment section. Now guys, like I told you originally, we're trying to get this channel to 1500 subscribers, so make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe. And also, please don't forget to click the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the videos I drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I will definitely see you guys later.